everybody. We want to welcome y'all back to episode 6 of our podcast. You heard what I said. I'm your brother JP. I got my boys Latif and Dwight with me.
You.
And we got another special guest this week with us. Longtime friend. I've known this dude for over 25 years. He's a good brother of mine. He's part of our tenacious, talented, and capable family, our band of brothers who are all on the show right now.
He's actually the president.
Yeah, he's actually the president, the standing president. So he has to be important. This guy's a entrepreneur.
Till January 21st,
yeah,
he'll drag his ass out just like the orange nigga.
He's an entrepreneur. He's a director. He's an executive producer. He's been in this industry, this multimedia industry for quite some time doing this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce y'all to my brother Malik Buie. I'll throw some applause. I did it last time, So listen, I'm gonna get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is something that's coming up this week, and Thanksgiving. It's basically here. Right. So
a few days away.
It's gonna be a little different this year for most of us. Maybe not all, but because of COVID, now it's like you can't have a bunch of family over, not all your cousins and people you haven't seen for a while. It's gonna feel a little weird. I got some immediate family coming by, but it's probably not even gonna be 10 of us in the house. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's just like I'm not gonna see my mom. I'm not gonna get to see my cousins who are out of town and things like that. So we're gonna have a good time, but it's definitely gonna feel very weird not being around my entire family for Thanksgiving, because that's how we do for Thanksgiving. Not everybody does it the same, but it's gonna feel weird for me. What about y'all?
For me, it's just going to be 3 people over here. My wife, my son. It's usually like 20 people over here every Thanksgiving from both sides of the family.
Right.
It's just crazy this year. Like, nobody wants to travel. You can't blame nobody.
Right. That's true.
Numbers rising, so.
Thanksgiving was kind of like my favorite holiday, because that's the time when everybody, family get together. Christmas time is kind of different because, it's usually spread out, and some of your family don't celebrate Christmas, say for whatever reason. And sometimes you want to do the Christmas thing with the immediate family. It seems like Thanksgiving seems to be the time where you get to, the nuclear families get together and they get a chance to break bread and chill and crack jokes and reminisce and all that. It's a long weekend, so people get a chance to travel usually. I had planned on taking my kids to Georgia to see my mom. We were going to fly out there. We had decided not to do that probably a month ago because of the rise in the cases. And my mom's 71 years old, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to be careful. If it was a quick flight, might be a little different, but a cross-country flight,
right?
Two kids,
right?
Flu season, Georgia's already buck wild.
Out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was like,
immunity.
Yeah,
they got the immunity out there.
Out there.
Nah, what it is people who got COVID and probably not telling, or they asymptomatic.
Symptomatic, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They don't know it. So my we probably gonna do the Zoom thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to a couple of my peoples that way, and it's gonna be crazy. But I rather, that's a good thing about technology, because if this was the '80s, we just wouldn't be able to see nobody. We call them and, hey, pass the Junior the phone. Junior for 15 minutes, and then you gotta move on. So, with technology, you get to see each other. That's actually, probably cuts down on that. And I just trying to see your face, make sure everybody was good, say hi, then you get back to doing what you was doing.
Right. What about you, Lee? Oh, you don't do Thanksgiving?
Nah, I love Thanksgiving. The tradition was normally I would fry turkey. I've done that probably for the past 5 years or so. But this time it's different. My mom and my aunt probably just hang out at my aunt's house this year. Mm-hmm. There's no parade, which is whack. Because I always said I was gonna take my kids to parade.
Right.
Because me and my cousin Kyle, we would go all the time to the Macy's parade. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just gonna chill. There's no NBA, which is whack. So I'm just, it's gonna be low key this year.
But Thanksgiving never really had the NBA. That was usually football day. Christmas was usually the NBA day.
But there'd be a game on Thanksgiving.
Not
Not
No.
NBA?
No. They
That's
usually,
just Christmas.
They usually
That's
leave
just
that for the They usually leave
Okay.
that for the NFL. Yeah.
Okay.
NFL have 3
College would have
games
started
now.
by now.
Well, I stand corrected. I would be so drunk from early. It felt like basketball.
Right.
So
Nah, I mean I get it, man. It's just a crazy time.
Are y'all doing the big? Okay, since the what y'all cooking? Since the crowd is going to be a lot less. Are you going to do? Are you still doing the same traditional?
Still the same.
Yeah.
I'm not doing no turkey.
Turkey.
I really don't care for turkey,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I don't eat it no other time unless it's a turkey sandwich, like sliced turkey or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not baking no turkey in August. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to, you know, no need for me to do that. We're gonna do a chicken, probably do shit like some lamb chops, some salmon, some stuff I would eat on, on a regular day. I don't want to know if I want to do the dressing and the macaroni and cheese.
how you not do that, son? Like you talking about a regular Wednesday? It's Thanksgiving.
But that's just the thing, yo. I'm trying to keep my toes and all that. I'm trying to keep the hypertension down. So it's like,
one day.
No one had a vote. He's like, I want Thanksgiving food. So
listen.
Well, he got the school. Yeah, I can understand that. This is kind of like his last one before he break out. Right. So I can see him going. But God willing, I'll have another one in 2021. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to, the stuff I'm used to eating, like my mom made, my aunts made. You know what I'm saying? So me not being able to have that, I'm not trying to do a reasonable facsimile of that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
I can't do the same mac and cheese and dressing and stuff that my mom could do. So I'm not even trying to fake that. I'll do the stuff I know I can make pretty good, and I'll rock with that. And I'll wait until I can get around them to, that again.
Yeah, stick with your strengths, man. Stick with your strengths.
Yeah, I'm gonna make mac and cheese, take it to my aunt and my mom, let them slander it because that's what they do no matter what I cook.
Right.
And enjoy their food.
Yeah, I'm gonna fry turkey. We actually just went shopping today, so yeah, I'm gonna do. I've been frying turkeys for years now. So
no, I never had fried turkey before.
Right up there with watermelon, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, Dwight does not eat watermelon, or so he says.
No, I don't eat watermelon, and I'm not ashamed of it. My black card is still intact. I just don't do it.
Allegedly.
No, I don't do it. Ask anybody. I would rather.
No, I said your black card is still intact. Allegedly, I'm not saying you don't eat watermelon.
No, I just know what it is. I don't think watermelon is nasty. It's just way down on the list on my go-to foods. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Probably after like persimmons or some shit like that.
But it's actually a very healthy fruit, like extremely.
No, it's extremely healthy. So are apples. I'll choose apples and oranges first. Pineapples, all that, grapes, strawberries.
You don't gotta eat watermelon, Leak.
I'm not saying he has to, but there's this underlying reason why he does, and it's very elitist. It's very elitist when you know him.
It's what you believe. It's what you believe, brother. I just don't enjoy the taste of it. It's not nasty. I don't like the consistency of it. I don't like the mushiness of it.
Let me ask you this.
Let
me ask you this. If we had a nice steakhouse, they're coming out for dessert. When my boys like, you got some watermelon?
If somebody asks for watermelon, oh no, do you? You gotta eat it. I would get sorbet or something, but if you want the watermelon,
tiramisu.
Yeah. If you want to eat the water, if you want to eat the watermelon around the white people, you go ahead and do that.
Oh gosh.
Save up all the pits till you get.
No, but I do understand that.
It's collecting your cheeks right here. When you're done with the watermelon, then you spit all the pits out.
I get that part because when I first started working at like MTV, there was like there was no black people there, right? It's probably like 5 black people out of like 700.
Right.
And whenever we would get together, I'd be like, "Yo, whatever we do, we don't eat Popeyes for lunch in here. we can go to Popeyes and eat there, and then come back, but we can't eat it around them." So, I get it.
Anybody I have to explain why means that I probably have to switch his throat first in the revolution.
Right. Actually, told Noah when he was younger, we had a grocery store. He likes watermelon. Like, I get it for him, whatever. We at the grocery store. He's like, I want to get some watermelon. I'm like, hey.
Lower your voice. Know your voice. Yo, tap me when you ask for the watermelon, son.
just that, right? The head nod. That's it.
Yo, over here.
That's it.
Whatever it is.
Hilarious. Has Noah eaten? What was it? He wanted White Castle. Has he had one yet?
Never.
Because I remember he said he's like when he turned 18, the first thing he's gonna do is get White Castle.
Oh, he missing out.
Yeah, he's gonna miss a week of school probably.
Yo, not for nothing. White Castle is truly trash. We have to say that now.
No, absolutely. But as a kid, it was the best.
You can make that thing.
They got vegan burgers now.
Everybody got vegan. I saw the Pizza Hut vegan pizza.
I'd rather have a pork belly sandwich fresh off the griddle before I eat a vegan something from White Castle. With all due respect to White Castle, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because I know whatever vegan shit they got is the cheapest on the market. Because they selling that shit for like $1.98.
That would probably be Subway. Subway probably be the cheapest.
I don't fuck with Subway.
I don't fuck with Subway either.
Nasty.
But you mess with Jersey Mike's though, right, Dwight?
Goddamn right. Goddamn right.
Shit might as well be Jersey Dwight's the way he eats.
Yeah, goddamn right. Out here I do Jersey Mike's heavy. They always catch the DoorDash. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't see the last episode yet, huh?
Yeah.
But I wasn't talking about them. I was talking about Kyle or whoever the fucking asshole was. They're acting stupid.
Yo, so let's talk about the battle last week, man. The number one music story in the country.
Yeah.
Jeezy versus Gucci. We touched on the anticipation in our last episode, but now we finally got to see it. We all watched it. What did y'all think? I thought it was a really good battle, like song for song. Like
yeah.
It was a lot of songs I didn't know, but plenty I did. But it just makes you think. I'm like, yo, Jeezy got some joints. Like
Jeezy got joints.
Joints, B.
But look, I was maybe 12 in.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I got Jeezy winning. But it ain't by the margin that I thought. There were a lot of songs that Gucci had, and I wish I could have like wrote them down and remember. But I was, you know, me, I'm an old head, so I'd be in the club back in the day when he was like really out. I would hear those, see the reaction of the crowd, and not have any idea who it was. The other day, Gucci played like 4 songs. I was like, oh shit. I had no idea. You know, I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get more, you know, I get a little bit more how, you know, why he was who he was. You know what I'm saying? And seeing him there, even though, you know, the tension was crazy thick, you know what I'm saying? But seeing him get, you know, be able to be in there and, you know, like we said in the last episode, I 100% understand all the energy that Gucci had.
Yes.
Any negative energy, I understand where he had, and it was warranted. But it seemed like as the battle went on, you know, even though he kept the energy through 80% of it.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
He sure did.
I don't think his energy didn't change to me.
Put him in the dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Smoking on Pookie. God damn. Son.
He came out the gate swinging. He
say smoking on Pookie low, right?
Yo, he said, send 3 more. I send 3 more back.
Yeah.
Like, yo, he was not playing. It wasn't until like Jeezy tried to give him a Lawrence Fishburne talk, and you know, at the end, like, come on, man, we are the culture, man. Like, this us right here, that nigga me. You know what I'm saying? He basically said that. And then, you know, I don't know, Gucci. It seemed like Gucci didn't even know he was gonna throw So Icy on at that. And then when he put it on, he didn't want to do that. Exactly. Then he threw it on. Like, all right, man. You know, it's the last point. Like, all right, I got you. Yeah. And then when you seen the energy on the rollout, it was like, oh, they're not as cool as I thought it was. they didn't really pound and hug or
it was out.
Yeah, like,
there was a lot of moving parts.
It was a lot of moving parts. Yeah.
A lot of moving parts to make that happen.
Yeah.
A lot of people guaranteeing no gunplay, all type of shit to make that happen. And it's good that it did.
With guns though.
Oh, bunch of guns.
Well, I said gunplay.
Like, the best going,
just don't pull it out and point. Like, that's what we asking tonight.
I mean, Stacey Abrams talked at the beginning, dog.
Yeah.
Yo, forgot about that part.
I was like,
that's the culture.
I was like,
yo, I forgot about that.
That's the culture. Yeah.
Gave a nice eloquent speech too. Yeah.
Why not? Why not? Right? Why not?
Why not?
You know what I'm saying?
And then proceeded to hear, I was going to say the foulest shit she ever heard, but Stacey probably rocked to that, you know what I'm saying, a few years ago. She probably got Gucci and them in other cars.
She went to Spelman, right?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was fucking with so she was definitely fucking with Freaky Girl and Lemonade. You know what I'm saying?
Easy. Lemonade.
That's my shit. Judge me.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I like that Gucci joint. Lemonade is dope. That joint is dope. Yeah, the energy was like, looking through reading the comments while it was going on had me dying. Like, people was like, yo, it feels uncomfortable in here.
Yeah. I was gonna watch on Instagram, but when you see on Apple TV, like, or if you're on TV or the iPad, whatever, you can see both sides of their group,
right?
Which is so entertaining to me.
Every now and then I would see like a little dude like tucked and he would move around, and then
it was like 5 of them though.
Yeah, and then when Gucci started talking, it was like, yo, everybody on that side got a hood on. The jackets they got on are bulky, so it's either a vest, a gun, and or both. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what was going on. So
I'd say both.
But I also say, like, and like if you looked at the aftermath, you see Gucci did a couple interviews and stuff. I see him on the Breakfast Club. It's like, yo, son like 41, 42 years old. You know what I'm saying? He got kids. Like Gucci the same way, he married. You in a totally different place that you were when y'all had your beef. Even though I understand it being on forever, at some point, it's like, we live in the same city. I could have been got at you. You could have been got at me. There's no need for me to even try to front right now. You know what I'm saying? I keep my wolves at bay. You keep your wolves at bay. Let's do this for the culture, because people did want to see it. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. People did want to see it.
You know what I thought too? Because this was like, what, 15 years ago when that happened?
Yeah.
Those same people that they had around them 15 years, it's a different set of wolves. Most of those dudes might not be around no more, might be locked up. You know what I'm saying? You move differently. You know what I'm saying? Both of them have ascended to like great heights as artists. And of course, your circle changes. Well, actually, the first time I met Jeezy, I feel like Coach K was his manager. You know what I mean? And now flip it X amount of years later, Coach K is rolling with Gucci. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, I'm pretty
is
sure
Gucci
that
managed by they squad.
I don't know who he's managed by now.
I think he's managed by Quality. I think so.
It would make sense.
He doing high quality control.
They're doing amazing. They're doing amazing. They might rival
TDE?
That boy Death Row. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
you think they're doing it better than TDE right now?
I think they got more stars than TDE.
Yeah, stars and maybe gross capital. Maybe gross capital.
Yeah, I'm about to say sales and numbers wise, probably just off the Migos.
Talent wise, they even.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
But it's good to see. Look, if they could come together for an hour and a half, that anybody who had beef in hip hop can come together for an hour and a half. Because I don't know too many beefs that we've heard about, at least in our time, that were that serious, where there were bodies got.
50 and Rule never getting in the same room together.
That's not
maybe.
Ja would do it. Ja Rule would do it.
I think 50 would do it too.
50 would do it. I think they do it.
Yeah, I think
one who attempts to murder will always get back in the room with you. Yeah.
No, but I think at this point, 50 and Ja are in places where it's like, son, I'm not rolling around the dirt with you. Somebody I got with me might be with it, but I'm not doing none of that. And
50 just said no.
Well, you know what though? They do have 50's an asshole.
Well, if Eminem tells 50 to do it, he'll do it.
Oh wow.
Let's start there.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
No, not
absolutely.
Anymore.
Not anymore.
I think there was a time. It was like that.
Okay.
No,
we'll agree to disagree.
Don't disrespect her this way.
Nah, just saying. I think that's the truth. Like, that's the one person that he's never slandered. He just holds high up there or whatever. And if M said, yo, you should do it, yo. All right, well, yo.
I think he respects M gave him his first bag, but I don't think M is running him.
I'm not going to say running. I'm just going to say heavily influenced.
Right.
But he made me rich. How can I? He made me rich and never said anything crazy to me or about me, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? He put me in a position to make my grandkids rich. So yeah, I'm going to defend him or ride with him when it's needed. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You being the type of guy you are, I'm not gonna call you racist. you being the kind of guy you are with your values and everything, you may feel differently. I share some of those values.
That is Eminem's the only person that 50 has never, like, he's slander proof. And I get it, that's your man. But there are a lot of other artists that have said literally nothing to 50 he attacks. And you're like, for what?
This is true.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
Yeah, but he's
that kind of.
Why would he attack M?
I'm not saying I attack. Like somebody could just. I don't even know. It's like somebody doesn't even have to attack Eminem and 50's all on him. And it's like, dogs, nobody. He just said he wasn't a fan.
That's almost
that's
like
his man.
He gave him he gave him a chance.
Nah.
50 was dead in the water. I mean, he wasn't dead in the water, but
he was
It wasn't
okay, first of all, it was a two-way street, right? Eminem gave him the chance. Eminem signed 50 because he knew how great of an artist he was or could be. And Dr. Dre had a lot to do with that as well. So it's not like he was some diamond in the rough kid that he found in the pride. Like, you know what I'm saying? 50 had a lot of things going on. Right. And 50 had like 5 to 10 deals on the table at the time. That's who he wanted to go with.
Then he got shot and they all went away.
No, I'm talking about, this is after that. I'm talking about once he dropped the mixtape.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you why that's not true. When 50 first came out with How to Rob, he tried to get him to Morgan, right? Everybody kept on telling us, don't bring him down there because of the shit he had surrounding him.
And rightfully so.
We could have got him for cheap. I don't even think we had to pay him too much. You know what I'm saying? This one, was it Columbia?
Yes, he was signed to Columbia. Sony Columbia.
Yeah. Columbia had him on the promo deal. That's how long ago this was. Mm-hmm. But everybody that was around him, Marcus and them, were telling us, yo, chill, he not ready to go out of town. He was doing the Q Club and stuff like that at that particular time.
Yeah, but once, I'm talking about after he got shot, after he came back, he lost the deal with Columbia. He had the bread because they gave him an advance on his publishing. And when they dropped him, you get to keep that money. So he had that money to like get back to work and put his product out as music. You know what I mean? Right. And once he did that first mixtape, I can't remember. I should know the damn name of it. Mm-hmm. But once he got popping again,
I said that shit.
Right. Once he got popping again, and then it was like a full-on bidding war. Like his songs were charting from the mixtape. They were charting on Billboard. So he had his quote-unquote pick of the litter. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And
so how you not go with Eminem at that time?
I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying there was other options at that time.
No, but Eminem at that point was the guy.
Yeah, he was the guy, right? Yeah. I mean, and a lot of it was Dr. Dre too, right? Because it's like, and Jimmy, after seeing the Defiant ones, you're like, oh man, Jimmy's gonna let him be him. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But look, if you're gonna get into a pipeline, the Eminem, Dre, Jimmy Iovine pipeline was better than any other offer he had. Even if somebody else was giving him more money,
I'll say this:
from that pipeline.
I don't know. We don't know. Who knows what somebody else would have came and gave him? Whether it was,
wasn't Puff.
Who was it
Puff,
gonna be?
or it could have been.
Wasn't gonna be Def Jam.
Why not? Could have been.
Wasn't gonna be.
Herb was in the building at Def Jam.
I'm sorry. It could have been Rockefeller, right? Could have been Rockefeller.
And selling units at Def Jam.
Wasn't gonna be Rob.
It could have been Rockefeller. Could have been Bad Boy. Could have been No Limit. He could have went a bunch of different ways. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't going to No Limit. He wasn't going to Bad Boy because that image wasn't there. He wasn't going to Rockefeller.
Nope.
Why not?
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to Rockefeller.
No. I'm just saying, I'm sure he thought about it. I'm sure they met.
Remember, he dissed Jay in the How to Rob. Jay went back.
That wasn't a diss. Wasn't it really a diss? You know what I mean?
The song wasn't really a diss. Jay gave him a little shot back.
Right.
Jay tapped him.
Jay was 25, 26 years old. You don't sign niggas that tried to diss you at that particular time. You're not thinking about that.
And Jay was still involved at that time.
Exactly. So you're not thinking about that.
It wasn't really no Cameron situation.
Exactly.
That was just ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Yo, not for nothing. Why we? I'm not gonna sit here and let y'all slander the God name like that. It's not gonna be no Dame slander when I'm around. Look, the only cats that went platinum on Rockefeller, Dame Dash is responsible for signing all of them. Jay-Z included. There are only 3 people that went platinum on Rockefeller: Jay, Kanye, and Cam. Everybody that went platinum. Everybody that went platinum on that joint.
I thought you did 800.
That single went platinum too.
Who that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nah, I didn't know Cam went platinum. I thought he did like 800, but I can see that.
Like 800. Look at you. He's from Brooklyn. You just said he went 1.5.
Maybe.
Right, maybe.
Maybe. Count all eligible album sales.
I don't know how we got on 50 and all that, but
because you always start taking it somewhere else that's not supposed to go.
I saw. Probably. I had some Jameson
we talking
earlier.
About beef and hip hop.
Yeah, I had some Jameson earlier. That tends to be a mind changer.
Oh, Jameson. Yeah, no doubt. So another thing that's about to pop off in a month or so is this new NBA season, and a few things happen recently with the draft and the signings and the switching around, and how y'all feeling about it? Like, wait, Leak is a
Warriors
Dubs,
fan.
A Dubs, okay.
Warriors
Since
fan.
when?
Since Speedy Claxton, bro.
Since 2.5 years ago.
Since 2017.
I didn't come on here to be slandered.
I'm sorry.
Well. Okay.
I mean, the Warriors.
How you feel about them coming back this year? You feeling confident?
Nah. Clay tore his Achilles, man, so he's gonna be out for another year.
That's crazy.
It's
crazy.
Yeah, it's sad because at the end of the day, no matter whether it's a team I root for or don't root for, I want everybody to be healthy because that's what you want to see. You want to see the best product on the floor. So, I mean, we still got a squad that I think can make the playoffs, but Clay is, I mean, come on, man. He's one of the top 10 shooters of all time, maybe top 5.
Maybe 5.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to lose that, no matter, I mean, I think we did well in free agency. We got the number 2 pick in the draft. That's huge. You know what I'm saying?
Was it the same leg?
It's different.
No,
different leg.
Okay.
To my understanding, isn't that what always happens, Steve? You compensate on one.
You overcompensate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Recovery.
Why do you think they did good in free agency? Because y'all got Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, I think yes, because we got Kelly Oubre, who I feel that if he was there when we I felt like he should have been the guy we got rid of Iguodala for earlier.
But y'all got Andrew Wiggins instead.
No, I mean yes and no.
Isn't Kelly Oubre and Andrew Wiggins like the same guy?
Nah.
I think Oubre
Oubre is more of a defender too, and he can
Oubre's
play.
more athletic, maybe.
He's a better defender.
Is he a? Can you say he's definitely a better player than Andrew Wiggins?
I think Wiggins can be better offensively at times. Wiggins can play the 2, and Oubre can play the 3. Right?
I can see this way. I can see Andrew Wiggins not consistently, but I can see Andrew Wiggins giving you a 30-point night before I see Kelly Oubre giving you a 30. I can see Kelly Oubre giving me 2 or 3 highlight dunks, but I can see Andrew Wiggins giving me 25, 30 on a night where y'all might need him.
Possibly, and I like the fact that pre-Clay's injury, I felt like Wiggins was the perfect guy to lead the second unit at time and just be that guy and just score for us every time down court. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think as soon as he got hurt, I think they should have took LaMelo. I think there's gonna be too much pressure on Steph controlling the ball and trying to score.
But LaMelo is a point, ain't he?
Yeah, move Steph off the ball. He
so 2?
Yeah,
he score.
Too small, and it's too small, and defense wise is exposed.
Anyway,
switch everything.
Anyway,
now you don't. He's top 2 point guard of all time. You don't take him off the ball.
Oh, son, fucking relax. What are you talking about? He's a top 2. What are you talking about? He don't run the offense like
3 the lowest. 3 the lowest.
He's not a
like Chris Paul running offense. What are you talking about?
Wait, what?
We don't run no offense like them.
I put this
like John Stockton ran an offense.
Yo, you put Steph with that Jazz team. Sneakily, they beat the Bulls 1 year.
Listen, if you take LeBron and switch Steph right now,
it's water.
Warriors can get to the finals.
Say it again.
If you switch LeBron and Steph right now, Warriors can get to the finals
with the same squad.
With Bron at the point.
Same squad.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
Every team LeBron is on, we are favored to get to the finals.
I mean, but there's a lot of other politics in that gets into the finals. It's not just play. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't even gonna go there.
We know how he feels about LB.
And I love LeBron, top 10 player of all time.
No, you don't, nigga.
You said top 10?
He's not in the top 10.
From what he do.
What?
And then cut another 2 off.
He's bugging. I said 10. He might be like 7, 6, somewhere in there.
Yo, cut him off, John. Yo,
I said of all time. Just come up.
I'm not even gonna say anything about it.
I love it.
Wildin', yo. What's wrong with y'all?
So look, I do think the Lakers got better.
Way better.
much better.
They got Marc Gasol. They got
Schroeder, your man Schroeder.
Yeah, then Dennis Schroeder.
That you didn't want on the Knicks. I kept saying him. Come on, dogs. I've said it for the past like 2 years. I was like, yo, I should get Schroeder. He's a great target. Get there and
you started talking about dudes like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and that other dude from Atlanta that makes Kent Bazemore, some dude that makes $17 million who doesn't deserve it. You always wanted us to go out there and then play us, and then for the next 5 months on the group chat, you would disrespect our squad. That is your squad deep down inside, even though you don't want to admit it. You've been a Warriors fan for a hot 15 minutes.
Come on, man. Yeah, well, Donald Foyle.
Let's
get it.
What the Knicks have done, what the Knicks have done this offseason is the best offseason that they have had in the last 10 years.
Will it pay off?
Not even
Very much so.
But they whiffed on everything. How's that the best offseason?
What did they whiff on?
They whiffed on Hayward. They whiffed on Hayward. They really wanted to sign him.
No, nobody wanted Hayward.
I shared that article. That article.
Did anybody from the Knicks say that? No.
Why would they?
Exactly. Who wants Gordon Hayward? Who want to go to Hayward?
You need every team needs a franchise player, right? Yes or no?
Gordon Hayward's not a franchise player.
He was with Utah.
He ain't now.
He was taking them to the playoffs.
And did what? They got $30 million a year for Gordon Hayward coming off a funny knee.
I'm not.
Boston keep him.
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like he got to Boston and he didn't really fit in the Brad Stevens system like that. And I think a lot of players don't.
He fits everywhere.
Exactly.
But he wasn't really healthy enough either. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Kyrie. Kyrie is a franchise player, right? Yes,
no, he ain't there no more either.
You know what I'm saying? Kimba was a franchise for Charlotte. He goes there. It's not looking like he's fitting either. So sometimes it's about the system.
Kimba fit in Boston, I think.
Underachieved.
Franchise players fit everywhere.
No. Kimba fit in Boston. He just didn't have a good playoffs. He probably a better fit than Kyrie because he's able to run the offense a little bit better. Now, the problem with slandering Kyrie is the stuff that you hate about him is the stuff that in the last 2 minutes you love about him.
Who slanders Kyrie?
Not me. Other brothers. I did Kyrie.
Malik.
What?
We have guests. We introduce you to our guests, and I'm trying to be nice when I'm doing that. Please don't come on out here. Come on these airways.
Slandered Kyrie?
Listen, and don't disrespect our guests by lying to them blatantly like that, brother. Don't do that. Okay?
I said Kyrie deserved the MVP when Cleveland beat my Warriors. He deserved that.
MVP of what?
I think a lot of people thought that.
The finals. Come on, Chiefs. Don't do that, yo.
Finals?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. He killed Steph that series.
He did kill Steph. He was supposed to kill Steph.
You know what I'm saying?
No, he wasn't supposed to kill Steph.
No, he wasn't supposed
to. Unanimous MVP.
Back to back.
Unanimous MVP.
Player of the war list.
Right, right, exactly, and that's why you can't move him to no 2 or off the ball like that.
He played. It would be better for Steph. It would be better for Steph if he played off the ball.
Yes.
He get to run around picks. He don't got to worry about getting nobody involved. You run around picks. He don't have to take any dribbles to shoot. He fast as hell. He crafty coming around the picks. He would average 35 points a game if he wasn't the point guard.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's no other point guards even available right now.
Y'all don't have a point guard on the Warriors right now?
Other than Steph. Well, I mean, we just got like this Brad Wanamaker from Boston as his backup.
Oh, yeah, y'all don't have
You know what I'm saying? No, Sean Livingston retired.
They did pick a couple of young kids. I think Nico Manning, he signed over there.
Yeah, the white guy, right? From Florida.
Yeah.
Frenchie, right? Yeah.
I've seen him play a lot. Yeah.
We'll see.
So,
but back to what we were originally talking about. but it was the Knicks not getting. You saying within the past what? I'm just saying, like they whiffed on Haywood. They haven't been able to whiff on Haywood. Okay, fine. They didn't. They wasn't able to get Russell Westbrook. You know,
he's $40 million a year, yo.
Y'all have 40 cap space, right?
So why do we take all that up for a dude that's gonna dribble the ball off his foot in the last 30 seconds?
Come on, man.
Yo, like I said, so look, I love Russ. I like watching Russ. Right? Russ is exciting to watch. With the team that the Knicks got, with a bunch of 25 and under dudes, they don't need nobody like that on their team. All he would have done was brought a little bit more excitement to the Garden.
He don't have the temperament to play with them anyway.
Exactly. Nope. Chris Paul, who also make 40, is somebody who would have been worth that. Chris Paul would have taught somebody how to play. Now, I didn't want them to pay him that much money either. But if I had a choice between those two, I'd have chose Chris Paul because his temperament.
He's a floor general.
Exactly, John. He's a floor general. He would have been able to teach the young point guards and the young guards that we got how to play NBA basketball.
Oladipo.
Russ would have. What we'd have seen was Russ would have averaged a triple double. Everybody would have got crazy over it, and the Knicks would have been 35 and 47, and that wouldn't have helped us out none. You know what I'm saying? Russ need to go somewhere where he could be the missing piece. They got some other players that can tell him to calm down because nobody on the Knicks would have been able to say nothing to him, Thibodeau included. They wouldn't have been able to say nothing to him. So it's like, yo, go somewhere where you go with a coach that you respect, that you're not going to run over. You know what I'm saying? You have other players around you that you don't have to elevate. You could just be a piece in there, and I think he'd be better. I think that he was good in Houston. With D'Antoni not there, maybe they get a new offensive system in there. They actually might be better, you know what I'm saying, in Houston. I don't think they need to break up. You know what I'm saying? I know they're thinking about breaking up because of other stuff other than basketball from what I'm hearing. But basketball-wise, I don't think that him and Harden are a bad mix. I think that they need to run a better offense.
They just can't win. They're not going to win in the West.
Yeah, they're not better than not better than the Lakers. They're not better than the Clippers. They're probably not better than Denver. They may not be better than Portland, you know what I'm saying, 7 games.
Nope.
You know? Phoenix.
Now they're the new Phoenix. But
Dallas is coming.
Look, I know we got to go to another topic, but real quick, who are the big NBA free signings this year? Free agent signings. Who was the big sign? No, were they really any?
It was going to be Anthony Davis. He's going to be the biggest one.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So because there was really what my point is, I guess there was really nobody that the Knicks can just like, you know, they could court and then bring in and sign. Nobody.
There was somebody we could throw money at, but nothing that would have made any sense. Russ, we could have threw money at him. But I'm
talking about somebody that's just free to sign, no sign and trade, can just walk over there. Nobody.
I know
right?
Nah, the only other person he was talking about that would have made a little sense would have been somebody like Oladipo. Oladipo's not a superstar.
I like him for y'all.
Yeah, he's good enough where he could, but he wasn't going to take anybody over the hump. But somebody could have looked at those pieces and said, yo, we got Oladipo, you got RJ, you got Mitch. Bring 1 or 2 other dudes in there, you might have some. You know, we got Obi.
Superstar that can play. Like,
yeah.
Right.
We need a point guard.
I mean, the Knicks just look like a team. It's just like, it's just.
The Knicks are vegetable lasagna.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what they are.
Wow. That's great.
No pizzazz. Every now and then it's cool if it come out hot. You know what I'm saying? But no, when you see veggie lasagna on the menu, nobody's like, oh shit, nigga, you only got veggie lasagna inside this plate? You never hear that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, so they got fish, they got this, they got veggie lasagna, they got meatballs. That's how you talk about that. The Knicks is not this. So like Teef said, until we can get a superstar or draft somebody that turns into a superstar like Luka did. And everybody talk about where y'all had KP is like, as nice as KP was, KP ain't Luka. He'll never be Luka. You'll never mix him up with Luka. You know what I'm saying? They on different levels. KP nice, but he Paul George to what's his name to
Luka.
To why? Huh?
6 maybe? 6, I think. 5.
Well, pick was he?
Yeah. The
I'm
Knicks
thinking
have a chance
five.
to get him?
I'm thinking 5. The Knicks ain't picked above 8th since Porzingis.
Yeah, they traded.
Last 3 years,
right.
I think last 3 years we didn't pick 8th. Frank was
Golden State
8th.
get the second pick.
Yeah, Frank was
Being
8th.
down
I
for
think.
1 year.
Like Kevin Knox was 8th. And there's also been some weak drafts too. You can't really blame the Knicks that much. Because who picked after the Knicks turned into other than Donovan Mitchell?
I mean,
I think he's the only one.
and they were begging.
No, Steph was a pick before. That hurt our feelings.
Yes, that was a pick.
Everybody
before.
wanted Steph.
Right.
Steph wanted a pick before.
Yeah.
Nobody really picked. Like we got lucky with Mitch. We got lucky with Porzingis. He ended up not wanting to be here. Other than that, we got Kevin Knox. We got.
You actually got very lucky with Porzingis because if you guys would have been higher, you would have took Jahlil Okafor, who didn't pan out, and who else was it? D'Angelo Russell. Yeah. Who's nice, but he's been all over the league. But actually, he's the point guard you'll probably need.
I was just about to say, when D'Angelo Russell came out, and you could go back to my Twitter feed, I was like, I want him. I'm an Ohio State dude. I wanted D'Angelo. Right. He is the point guard that we need. Somebody that can score, somebody who could run the team, and somebody who, he's not Tony Allen on the defensive end, but he don't get embarrassed either. You know what I'm saying? He's enough where, he could.
He got good hands though. He got good hands.
Yeah, exactly. He's enough. He's young that he can grow. He might be
an all-star
3-4 years from now.
He's an all-star, so I give him that.
But the good thing is, with all this coming on, football is here. Mid-season is cool. NBA start. 3 days before Christmas is a good Christmas present for us. I'm looking forward to that. And I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for my Knicks this year. I know I say that every year, and then by the time Christmas comes, I'll be throwing some shit at the TV. But this is the first year that it seems like the Knicks actually made some sense. You know what I'm saying? They was like, we're not going to do anything just to make a splash. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to just throw some money out here just to say, yo, we got this dude. You know what I mean? And then we end up losing. See, Malik is upset because his Warriors are going to be back in the lottery come June. He knows it.
We'll be fine. No, my thing is you guys went. You got Worldwide West. You got Steve Stout.
No, don't say.
And they couldn't. That's still not attracting what you thought you would. And you're just gonna fail to mention that. That is my issue. It's semantics and theatrics. Us Warriors, we don't have to do all of that. We just let our GM work. We don't have to bring in homeboy over here. He cool. Like they follow each other on Twitter. He'll get people to sign. Like, come on, man.
That's what y'all did with KD.
No, it ain't. Cause it's a whole different story, man.
That's what y'all did with KD.
That was a travesty.
Knock it off. KD needed some rings for his legacy. 73 I'm not going to get into that because this is a whole other
73 and 9.
Whole other podcast.
And y'all lost a 3-1 lead with the last 2 games at home.
Hey,
with the unanimous MVP on the roster. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed.
It's a lot of shenanigans.
You should be embarrassed.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
We're not a sports podcast.
I will never let a Knicks fan tell me I should be embarrassed. That's all I'm gonna say.
We're not a sports podcast, and we have a guest on here that's a habitual line stepper. So we're gonna move on before I have to flip this table over and mute Leek's mic. I will introduce my brother as saying he is one of the most talented brothers that I know. He's done yeah. I got to make it look good because we got to say, But seriously, he's one of the most talented brothers I know. He's worked for a lot of people, quite a lot of checks from people that I had not known about. He seemed to have ramped up the work over the last few months in the pandemic. I got to salute him for that. As with our last guest, I received his bio in order to introduce him. I will not disrespect him by calling them the names that we call him off camera. So, without further ado, I introduce to you TV and film Svengali, which is a great word, Svengali. Director and executive producer, the founder of Red Summer TV, which our podcast, you heard what I said, can be found on. Mr. Malik K Buie.
More applause there. It'll be there. It'll be there.
When I'm Chiron, can you put like my name, Red Sun on TV founder, then / dictator?
Yeah, I can do that.
Bad.
Dictator. Got it.
Dick eater.
That was an oop.
Yeah, exactly. That was Sherman Douglas stuff on Cycling right there. You put that off the joint.
Steph Curry.
Eric Coleman.
Yeah, I should have went DC on that one. You right. So, brother, it's good to have you on the show. We've talked to you about creating this show for a while before we even did it. So we appreciate the fact that you allowed you give us a platform.
Yes, sir.
To get our message out to the people. But of course, we follow you on social media and stuff. But give us a little idea of how you got started in this business and some of the things that you have been, some of the challenges that you've been, going through since the pandemic hit. As a producer, filmmaker and things like that. I assume social distancing and shit is not the greatest thing for your business. So, give us a little, idea on how you got started and some of the stuff you've been working on lately, please.
Oh man, thank you. First of all, I want to thank y'all for having me on the podcast. It's always
yes, sir.
beautiful to be able to build with my brothers.
Yes, sir.
Known you guys for more than half of my life, and I'm just happy that you guys committed to like saying, you know what, we're gonna do this and follow through, and that's really dope.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Me and John always go back and forth, texting cameras and hard drive links and what I'm saying? Like when he texts me, it's like I geek out, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? So exactly. And me and Teef, we go to the mall.
Look at fancy shoes.
Yeah, look at fancy shoes.
Fancy shoes and sneakers.
You know what I'm saying? And me and Dwight partake in other things. So but yeah, thank you. Man, how did I get started? It's funny because I remember the first job I had was at was in MTV in the animation department, right? So it's like this little small department that kind of it was like right next. We did commercials, right? We would do little commercials for there was this commercial for like, I think it was like Oxy with like the guy on a moped with the girl on the back. And we were right next door to where they did Daria and Celebrity Deathmatch and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So it was real cool. And I don't have an animation background. I just needed to like be in the building, right? Right. So of course it was like my aunt's friend from high school.
Was MTV part of Viacom at that time?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I remember when I went there, it was me and another guy, white boy, can't remember his name. Real cool guy, but they were kind of like just testing both of us out to see who really wanted this shit. I was there early. I stayed late. Right. You know what I mean? The white boy, he was cool and shit, but he was like, look, I could take this shit or leave it. Like, he didn't care, But after some time, I remember right before the holidays, they shut down. They shut down the animation department. Like I went to lunch, literally went to McDonald's with my boy and came back and they had called a company meeting in the lobby and laid everybody off.
Wow.
I walked back in and I remember because it's like 2 weeks before Christmas and I realized later they do that, so they can like close the books up, So I walk in and everybody's crying, right? And I'm like, hey.
Hold on, did you say the layoffs was 2 weeks before Christmas?
Yes. Yeah. Wow. So again, everybody's crying, and I'm like, "Well, what happened?" So I asked like the white girl Veggie, right? Hey, what happened? Oh, she's crying. We got let go. Really? Yes, you too. I mean, she said that just like that. It's like what? So I took some time off and didn't really have a choice. And when I got back into the swing of things, there was this other director that I had met there, this guy named William Hines, when I was in the animation department. He was doing something back for MTV again, freelance, and he was like, look, man, I know you said you want to shoot with the camera, and I can like hook you up with this gig. So let's if you down. I'm like, am I down? And it was a documentary for the Rucker Park. It was called a series called Harlem Hoops, and this was like when I think Fat Joe versus Jay-Z's team was in the final. Like
I remember
was
that.
like
Yeah.
right. So that was like my first foray into like
Right.
what it was like to make a documentary, and then, but that experience taught me it was very important to pay attention to the small details and the particulars, because everything goes full circle. I get on that job, and technically I'm only supposed to be a C cameraman, which is like third camera, sometimes fourth. They might use my shit, they might not.
Right.
But when I went to talk to one of the producers, it's funny because now he's my business partner, Ramon Bug. Ramon was like one of the producers for the show, and he was like, "Look, man, I know that William kind of brought you on to like be a shooter, but I need somebody here helping me in the office too." So what that did was that made my days longer, but I learned the different skills, and that's how I actually learned how to produce for television.
You were still at MTV at the time.
No, I mean that was for MTV.
Okay.
That was for MTV.
Freelancing.
I was freelancing before. I was like,
Right.
I was staff, and now I'm just back trying to get a check.
Okay. All right.
So what happened was my assignment was only supposed to be for 6 weeks, and then that's it, because we filmed, and then it goes to edit, and I'm done. And now I got to look for more work for whatever company.
Right.
So I go into the edit one day because they called me in for like, "Oh, Malik, can you work 1 week?" Sure, I can do that. Excuse me. Turns out when they're in the edit, the editors or they don't know the content, they don't know the culture, and I'm pointing out who everybody is.
Wow.
So they're like, look at, well, you know, there's post-it notes and there's story notes, and they have to like put names and faces in within the edit. And I know everything. I know where every tape is. I know every person. I could tell you that's Ali Mo, that's Future, that's you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the, and
Rest in peace, Ali Mo. Too.
rest in peace, Ali Mo. Right. So they were like, yo, they literally extended me another 3 months.
Nice.
Because they was like, well, we need this guy here.
That's dope.
So, you know, and then from there, I mean, it's a lot to go into, but you know.
When you go to BET, did you go to BET from there, or was it someplace else before that?
I'm sure I was somewhere else in between there. I went to BET to do a I think I did one of those shows. I think it was called the Top 25 shows, Top 25 Black sitcoms or something like that. It was like around that time they were doing a lot of those Top 25 Black couples, Top 10 dancers, like like all of those, right? Cool shit. And it's funny because I was watching the Fresh Prince reunion last night, and I actually interviewed James Avery. We talked for like an hour and a half. We talked maybe 20 minutes about the Fresh Prince, and an hour, and rest in peace, and probably an hour about us as a people, culture. Right. You know, I'm looking for that footage now. I know I have it. But anyway, once I got there, what happened was the producer, he left because he had another job, another gig lined up, and the show wasn't yet finished. It needed some work. I stayed on to finish it, and they kind of kept me around there. I started doing more shows there. And then one fateful day, there was a little dust up in the hallway next to Stephen Hill's office, and they let go the two main producers from Rap City, and I just happened to be in there that day.
Wow!
And so I saw at the time the creative director, her name is Penny. I saw her at the elevator. She was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just chilling, dropping off some footage for a friend." She was like, "You know what? Something came up that I think is perfect for you." And then that's, you know, that next week I started producing Rap City. Wow. And then, you know, from there I was able to kind of put my hands on a little bit of everything when it comes to the shows, the award shows, the tent poles, and was kind of just able to go from there. But at the still time.
How long you were there? You was there for a minute, right?
Yeah, 13 years at least. Something like that.
Yeah, it was that long?
Yeah.
I was thinking like 8, 9 or something like that.
I knew you was going to say like 8. I thought you was going to say
Yeah.
I will say, though, at least 7 to 8 wasn't really work. Didn't feel like it. Like, imagine going to work, I don't know, between 10 and 11 and arguing about your favorite artist for 2 hours, right. looking at videos, picking the ones that you think are dope, or, yo, what are these dope concepts? And then, you know, hanging out that night and getting paid for it. It wasn't work for a long time. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So.
Nice. What was your favorite project that you worked on while you were there?
couple. I would say one of the earlier projects was probably I did an Eminem special actually for Rap City, because Eminem is he doesn't. It takes a lot to move that guy, right? There's only one person you can call, Paul Rosenberg, and if he says yes, then And it was just, it was one of my favorite ones because we did a special Rap City for him. He would only talk to Tigger, and I was handpicked because Tigger wasn't the host. Tigger wasn't the host at that time. It was maybe I forgot who it was. It might have been Mad Links or Q45 or one of those.
Was it Hits from the Streets?
No, it wasn't Hits.
Remember Hits, right?
Yeah, I remember Hits. Al. Hits is cool. It's mad cool. But yeah, so he, I was kind of handpicked. Malik should produce that. That felt good. So that's one of my favorite ones. And then like later on in my career, I was able to produce a concert for Wale. He did a show at the Fillmore, which is kind of like, his hometown.
Yeah, right.
It's one of my just the look, the feel of it, everything was really dope. And Wale is like, he's one of my favorite artists. Like I think he's like low key. I don't think he don't get enough props. You know what I'm saying? Personally.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
But yeah, that's one. That's another one.
I remember I went to go see Nas's Illmatic documentary. And I went to Burbank. I went to the movie theater to see it. I'm sitting there, and the credits coming up. And I'm like, "Oh shit! I should have said Malik."
Yeah.
Like,
so
the person I was sitting next to, I was like, "Hey, yo, I know this motherfucker right here. That's my brother right there. He's doing that shit."
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me working on it. And sidebar, real quick. Me, you, Jean Pierre, and a couple of our friends been working on a documentary about our time in college. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool to be able to see that and know that, okay, my man knows a little bit about this. So it's like, even though most of us are jumping into this with no experience, the fact that you've had experience working on a couple of these makes it easier for us to, push us across the finish line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, the one beautiful thing I'll say about being at BT, I know there's a lot of detractors and et cetera, et cetera. I see a lot of some former colleagues that have don't have the best things to say about it. It's like any other company, man. It's good and it's bad, but you really get the chance to spread your wings and show what you can do there. And if you're talented, no matter where you're at, I think it'll show eventually. Right. So that's why that's what I'll say about that. As far as the Nas documentary, it was cool because my bro 19 worked at BET with me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? 19 he's like a dope graphic artist, painter, and he had been working on his doc for a while. It's like I think like maybe 8 to 10 years before I jumped on board. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he was just like, "Yo, can you help me out?" He knows that I could shoot. I could DP and I could do whatever. So I got the chance to meet Nas' dad for a couple interviews, and that was the full circle moment because him and my grandfather played jazz together back in the day. My grandfather, Bobby Hamilton, was my grandfather. Bobby Hamilton was Nina Simone's drummer. So we talked. I actually learned about fatherhood. We talked about fatherhood on the side, me and Nas' dad. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that was a cool experience. And I actually told 19, I'm like, look, he did this Muhammad Ali painting for me. And that was like the barter. Like, I'll shoot these for you.
That's in your crib.
Yeah. It's like, I'll do this for you. Cool. Film comes out, Showtime, whatever. And I still get a check in the mail from bro.
Wow.
And he didn't have to, you know what I mean?
Right.
But again, it's cool people's. But yeah, I was able to learn definitely a lot on really a lot of the business and financing side when it came to that. You know what I mean? So
when did you start the Red Summer TV thing?
Man, Red Summer started long ago because even when I was at BET, I felt like, or whatever company I was at, I always wanted to like own my own and kind of be in charge of my destiny. So originally, me and my cousin Kai Crawford, the director of Fly Kai.
Yeah, guys
yeah. So I was like the producer and he was the director for music videos, right? So we did Akon Styles P Locked Up, right? We did so many videos. We did Jason Derulo in My Head. We did some shit for Orlando Brown. We did Stinky Leg. You know, all those. We did Young Jock. I Know You See It. Like we were rattling. We was doing all right for a minute, you know. And then once things in the music business started going downhill in regards to like the crash and the sales and all that, the first thing that went was the music video budgets.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I always wanted to. I always felt like we can be a multi-purpose production company. We didn't just have to do music videos.
Right.
And that's where we are now, to where we still, of course, develop, but we also have post-production services. We, we crew. We do crewing, E&G crews. We do equipment rentals. We do a lot. You know what I mean? But mainly, our thing is, developing content.
So recently, I know that you did some stuff for Essence. I saw you do some stuff for the URL. You know, I'm a URL dude.
Yes.
So you do that.
Yeah.
What has been the challenges that you've had to deal with as a creator, especially with the stuff that you do, because it's usually around crowds and stuff like that. But since March, everything been let's just go with it, you know what I'm saying? And being an entrepreneur, what have been the tough parts, that you've had to deal with over the last few months dealing with, COVID and restrictions and stuff like that?
So I'm not even gonna front, because when COVID hit, like, it got depressing, dog. Like, we were on a run, like Red Summer as a company. We were on a run. We were doing, the social justice series with Rock Nation, called Everyone's Child, The Mother's Letter. We had a commercial that aired during Monday Night Football recently. Yeah. We had, we were still doing stuff with Essence. We started doing a documentary on Parchment Prison, which, these horrible conditions in Parchment, Mississippi, at the prison. It's like 25 deaths of inmates due to random reasons. Jeezy and Yo Gotti's,
that's the same prison that they
yes.
went, okay.
Right, class action lawsuit.
Yeah,
yes, yeah. Right. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we was documenting that. My partner Ramon Bug was down there back and forth in Mississippi, directing that. I had directed the last season of Black Ink. And then I was coming off that, and we had things going, and then COVID hit and everything shut down.
Right.
Black Ink Chicago or New York?
I did New York. I did Black Ink New York.
Okay.
Everything shut down. And I'm in the crib, and after like 2-3 weeks, like I'm binge watching All American.
That's a good show. That's a good show.
Yeah, I was kind of pissed as
I didn't know that dude was from London.
Yeah, they all are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start saying I'm from London. Let's see what happens.
You might get a bag, but
right? Yeah. And honestly, I was just like, yo, this is weird, because, I felt like we were in such a good space, and we were really clicking and figuring things out, and then everything just kind of comes to a halt. But you take that time to reflect, you step back, and you say, okay, how else can we do this? And then that's when, okay, well, we have an office, you know? So we figured out, okay, if we can just have one person in there doing edits for different projects, but we take this time to develop our stuff as well. And then when it came time to like opening back up a little bit, the COVID protocols are real. They vary from depending on the network and client. You know what I'm saying? Because no, like, I still do some consulting with Viacom, BT, and whatnot. Still do some producing for them here and there. But for like an in-person shoot, it's serious, dog. If I'm gonna come to John's house and I'm gonna send a crew there, we're gonna test you. We're gonna test the crew. Once they got to quarantine, and then they got to test again, and now everybody's able to go in there.
So you got to go down there probably a week or two before you even.
It becomes very expensive. It's like the NBA bubble almost. That's how they treat it. You know what I mean? Which I get it. It's people's health. You know what I mean? So that's been like the biggest thing. Through this all, it's funny because one of the first real shoots that we did like in person was for URL guys, right? Smack URL. It was dope the way that even came about. It was like a friend of mine introduced me to the company, actually Caffeine, that does the streams.
Right.
Now,
Caffeine owned by Drake, or he got a?
He's an investor. He's an investor. Yeah. Yeah. But the beautiful thing is, one, I was one of the first cameramen for Smack back in the day.
Back in
like
the day, we had the
back
DVD.
when fights, like I would think I was at the fight. Was it the Math Hoffa fight?
First one that was like in the
Yes.
gym or something.
Yeah, it was some low key spot. It was me and two of my boys that I used to shoot Rap City with. We took our cameras on the weekend, make some extra money to rock with them. So once I, years later, and I have a conversation with Caffeine, and they give us the account, read some of the account, and we will, and then there's there's a bigger meeting with Beasley and Smack. And they're like, "Oh, Malik," and I'm like, "Yo, it was beautiful. That was a beautiful moment where it's like nothing was expected. They didn't plug me. I've been off doing something else, But it was cool to be back on set. We had our COVID officers there. That's again, it can cost more money. You got to you have to factor that in. You know what I mean? So, and that was the one where what's his name? The guy didn't even show up. I think it was his name, Grizz or something like that.
Briz Ross.
Yeah.
Supposed to battle Murder Mook.
Murder Mook, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
We spent mad time with him.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, Briz just doesn't do it for whatever reason. But
I heard one of his peoples that passed away tragically. Okay. So I heard that he was on some. I ain't ready to go out there yet.
When he came there deep, right? Son's from North Carolina.
Yeah.
he might have came with 15 dudes because he didn't know what type of time Mook was going to be on. But Mook is like, come on, man. I'm not
they had a fight last time. They battled before.
I know, right? Wow. Yeah, I get it.
Mook mom has just died.
Right.
He bumping all into him, saying all types of crazy stuff.
Right.
Right.
But that was But Mook wasn't on that type of time. He was like, look, it's whatever. I'm not going to set you up when you come to New York. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that was one of the first times being back on set. We were able to do a few more of those. Again, it's everybody got to stay 6 feet apart. Everybody will mask up, and it's a lot. And some other people that's still working and shooting on set, they do it in bubbles now. You know what I mean? They go to a place in quarantine, and nobody can leave for 6 weeks. And you still got to test 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Still.
So what's your plans for Red Summer going forward? What do you have over the next 6 months to a year that you're thinking about doing?
Man. So, it's still busy season, man. We were able to.
You have other shows on your network other than our show, of course.
Yes. I mean, we have another podcast that's in production. Pre-production. We're rolling out like 2 to 3 more shows. Mm-hmm. But honestly, we have a development slate, and we have we signed a deal that I can't talk about yet, but we signed a deal with another larger production company to kind of bring some of our vision, our shows to fruition. So,
all right, that's good. Drinks on you next time we see you then.
Yeah, I mean, but the goal is, honestly, to do some more docu-series. Mm-hmm. Of course, you want to go get in the scripted because it's not really just about the money, but I think that's to me, that's where it is creatively. You know what I mean? So that's the goal.
All right. So do you think it's going to say, okay, we're supposed to get the vaccine in the springtime. I'm thinking realistically things open up summer, fall 2021. Is there anything in particular on your upcoming docket that you want to get done and have ready for that particular time? Anything that you have going on personally? I know you have, the stuff with Essence. That's a big thing. I know you have the thing with URL, but it seems like the URL thing might be kind of a continual relationship depending on the things they got going on. I think you've been, the last 2 or 3 cards you worked with them, right?
Yeah. Basically, what we do are we do all the promo for them. So whether it's like for Queen of the Ring that just aired, we set up a press day. We do all the questions, B-rolls, photos, and the matchups. 2 people come head to head. We do all of that, and that's something that's gonna be ongoing. I have a project, Taylor the Tape, my mixtape doc, that is really close to to finish at this point.
Yeah, you've been working on that for a minute.
Yeah, it's long. Yo, man, that's my reasonable doubt. Like straight up, you know what I'm saying? I've been working on that for a very, very long time. And I watch it, and of course, like artistically, there are a lot of things I would probably do different. A whole lot of things. But I love it when I watch it because, you know, I did a lot of that, a lot of the filming on the back end of wherever I was at, whatever I was doing. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, maybe 9 years ago, I'm in Atlanta for the Hip Hop Awards, and Kendrick Lamar is a brand new artist, right? And then we're going to get him on a segment on Rap City or whatever show I'm working on at the time. But then I go hang out with him at the club, and I film his whole set. And then we sit down for 40 minutes and just talk and do an interview. And now I have that footage, and I want to put it on my like, you know what I mean? So I was able to do that for a very, very long time, from Kendrick, Cole, Big Sean, Future, before any Future probably didn't even have a kid, but when I first talked to him, you know what I'm saying?
That was a long time ago.
Right, it was a long time ago, and he was a different Future, trust me. Because then when I see him 3 years later, we sit down to talk. He won't take his shades off, talking about he want Denzel Washington to play him in a movie. You know what I mean? So, but between the mixtape doc and his 4 cities, this doc I've been working on gentrification, that's kind of near and dear to my heart. Went through some, you know, family issues and whatnot.
And this thing of ours.
And this thing of ours, yeah.
Gotta finish that.
Like those are three top line items that need to get done, and they will. You know what I mean? Yeah. The good thing about all of those is that the majority of the actual production filming is done. So now it's all about going to the edit and getting to work.
I know the feeling. Well, I think I speak for all of us when I say we are extremely proud of you. We are happy with the process that you've made.
I think you can work
over the years. I was at Leaks college graduation. You know what I'm saying? I remember being there at Towson. You know what I'm saying? It actually wasn't hot that day, which I'm cool with. Yeah. But it was, you know, knowing the stuff that we've all been through while we were younger and seeing his progress now, you know, it makes me smile. So I definitely wish you luck in the future with everything that you're doing. If you look good, we look great because we have our project on your platform. Yeah. And we wish you all the luck in the future, brother. We love you. And like I said, we are very proud of everything that you've done. And keep on pushing, man. I know that one of these days we're going to see a movie, you know, saying executive produced and written and directed by, you know, Malik Bowie.
Oh, all that. I appreciate that, man. I don't go
Rich. Are you the next Matty Rich?
Nah, I appreciate it. Like real talk, because you know I don't make it to any at this point in my life without y'all, without my brothers, and that's real talk. And it's funny you mentioned my graduation, because I remember the week leading up to that, I had finally got my grades back, saying I passed everything and I was actually going to graduate, and I was so like filled with emotion, and you know, because you know it's a big thing, and I promised my mom, I'm going to do this. Right. I don't know if you remember, yo, but I was staying at the mansion at the time. I didn't leave the house for a week. I didn't leave because I was too scared for something to happen to me, whether some bullshit happened at a store or I'm driving and get arrested. And my whole thing was like, my mother's going to see me walk. Right. Yeah, period. And so I didn't leave the house until my cousins and my aunts pulled up. And I remember they pulled up and you saw them outside. You was like, yo, it's got to be you. There's a bunch of niggas look like you in the face. So
I remember that whole day. I remember leaving the graduation. I remember you were staying on like Wellington Gate or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I remember your mom giving the speech. She got emotional during the speech. And I remember having a barbecue there with your cousins and shit. That's a good day. So it's like, it's crazy when you look back on shit. Like, you forget how old you are sometimes. I forget how old I am sometimes. I look back and I'm like, yo, son, I've seen a lot of, you know, but I'm happy because I can go back and I see a lot of my brother's successes. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of, you know, T successes. I've seen a lot of John Pierre successes. You know what I'm saying? So being able to see my brothers flourish it's almost like you getting the win too. You know what I'm saying?
We all win.
We all win. There, you know, we was there when when it wasn't none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you seen the beginnings of shit. You know what I'm saying? You seen the foundation of it.
Yes.
To see some of you guys' successes. Like I remember the first time John sent me his album. You know what I'm saying? And I remember talking to him for years about him wanting to do that and being a producer and all that shit. So for him to have an album on Apple and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wild shit, you know what I'm saying? You want to tell everybody like, yo, take my man. You know what I'm saying? So, it's wild to see, especially because I think I might be the oldest out of all of us, if I'm not mistaken. So seeing y'all, y'all my little brothers. So seeing y'all, you know what I'm saying? It's some fly shit. You know what I'm saying? I talk to my mom about y'all all the time. You know what I'm saying? Girls I date, they always hear about y'all all the time. So seeing y'all get it, you know what I'm saying, is real dope. So, once again, you know what I'm saying? We proud of you. Thank you. And we looking forward to seeing everything that you got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's funny because when I first moved back to New York from Baltimore, I remember hitting up John because I was like, yo, I need a job, bro. And I think he was working at some spot. I think it was like some type of publishing or something spot. Yeah. You and Babs. Right. And I remember, so before I got called, shout out to Anisha, but before I got called for the MTV joint, I was, resume was ready. John hooked me up, yo.
Our family is wild, B. Thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the connections we've had. Like, there was a time, remember we was at Piper, and it was like 6 of us working there?
Yes, I remember that.
and I was a nighttime manager. It's like, y'all gave me the reins?
Yeah. I remember that. Who was the old man that used to
Mr. James?
He used to talk bad about Farrakhan. Yeah. Called him Calypso Lou and a sellout. It's so random, but...
I know Mr. James is probably in heaven right now. He got to be going right now.
He was 80 when we were there 20 years ago.
But he was hilarious. We had some good times at Piper. Shout out to Piper and Marbury. Yo, straight up.
All four of us worked there. All four of us worked there.
No, me, you, John, Lateef.
I came after Teef left though.
Yeah, Sharad was there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was like Nick Van Exel.
We're going to talk about why Lateef left.
From Harlem, because he's from Harlem. That's all you gotta say. He left because he's from Harlem.
If we get to episode 50, we'll talk about it then. It'll be good about it.
It'll be, who you gonna have one as a guest? Calvin Klein?
Guilty by association. Wild times, man. It was wild times.
Yeah.
Hey, John, get us back on point, bro.
You know what else is wild? This whole new, it's not new, but I know we spoke about it before, but these people popping up with these OnlyFans accounts.
Never heard of this.
What is this OnlyFans you speak of?
Man, what is this OnlyFans you speak of? What is this sorcery?
It's this new gospel site, OnlyFans of Jesus.
OnlyFans for Jesus is a great fucking idea.
Yes, it is.
So,
yes, it is. Just show feet.
No,
but showing feet.
For those that don't know, I guess OnlyFans is basically an account that people set up and have subscribers so they can enjoy visual. How should I say? Stimulations. There we go.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Visual entertainment, video.
There's other versions of it, right? Like everybody not busting it open, right?
Right.
Like there's some foot pages, right? Shout out to Marlon because he's been talking about this foot doc he wants to do.
Shout out to Deuce.
You know what I'm saying? But no, like, you have people that show nails. You got people, because there was actually an issue where there was like, I forget her name. I should have researched that. It was just like this. Of course, there's like this white girl that comes in and fucks the game up, right? Because she's making wild bread.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The other real workers are doing what they got to do for their money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
and she and the other shorty, she had like 5 million like Instagram followers. She caught the OnlyFans and caught like a quick few 100,000 off that, right?
Easily.
I look at it like this: like
they had to change like their terms of service or like refund policy because of her. You know what I'm saying?
They changed how much they could like actually ask for and stuff like that.
Something, man.
I don't think it's that. I think you can ask for whatever people is willing to give you.
Yeah.
I think with Shorty, it was like people who had to work hard for their coins on that particular platform because she was already famous on other shit.
Okay. Oh, okay.
She went there
from Disney, I believe.
Yeah, on a quick hit.
Oh, so she
and caught some coins off of it.
Wow.
I personally look at that as
no, but her she wasn't showing nothing though.
Nah,
but
she wasn't.
You can't get mad at her for that.
Right.
No.
Bella Thorne.
OnlyFans ain't built for people who want to get butt naked.
So and she was making $1 million in a day on OnlyFans. Yes.
Yeah. Why they mad at her?
Right.
Whatever she posting, right? It can be feet, whatever. Whatever y'all want me to post. If y'all gonna give me $1 million a day, you got it.
Well, didn't she promise to post something and got all her subscribers?
Whatever.
Yes. That's what she promised to post.
She promised to post something and got all her subscribers and didn't post it.
Right. And then that's what changed what changed the policy. That's what changed the refund policy and all that. And now the other girls is like, yo, ma. Like she was a Karen. She gentrified the situation. Well, she didn't have to.
What did she promise to post though? That was so
I think a nude.
She promised to post butt naked?
Yeah.
Now I remember a picture in my mind of the chick, right? If you paid to see her butt naked, you deserve to be relieved of your dollars.
Everybody got it tight, man.
True. That is
Everybody
true.
got it tight. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
my mom used to talk about my uncle, R.I.P., call him a chubby chaser. Everybody got it tight. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That chick was built like a tripod.
You shaming? You body shaming?
In her case, yes. A quarter horse or something.
Pay for everything though. You know that.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing, right? I don't look down on OnlyFans pages, right? It's like, I mean, shit.
Listen.
Right, because I mean, we got older brothers, uncles, dads, whoever that used to buy porn magazines, right? All this is you going straight to the source. There's no if.
There's an if.
Yeah, there's an if. There definitely is.
If it's your child, are you looking down on it?
That's the question. Yo, look, there was a video that we saw earlier. We shared it amongst us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a woman that found out that her daughter had an OnlyFans page. And she shamed her, like she made a video of her shaming her and posted it. You know, part of us were like, okay, we don't agree with that kind of discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to shame your child or whatever. You can be pissed at her, whatever, or pissed at him, whatever. But to publicly shame them, there's probably another way you can go about doing something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that led us into this conversation. Like, okay, so how would you feel? Most of us have children who are of age that they can do that without asking us that. Right. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, all of us actually. Now I'm thinking about it. Have kids that are old enough to say, "Look, I can do what I want." So, how would you feel if your daughter or son, because you can get that both ways, decided to do an OnlyFans and they were 18 and up?
Right, because the issue is with that clip was that girl was underage.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Oh.
And it really wasn't an OnlyFans page. Dudes was just cash apping on like, "Yo, ma, show me your titties, show me your," like, you know what I'm saying? Which is wild. Like, she's off the reservation. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's and what the issue was that whoever wrote the article talked about how OnlyFans influences this type of behavior, as well as the whole, women, I'm owning my sexuality.
Right.
All that shit kind of like ties into it. So, okay, one, I have a daughter. She's not of age. If she was to ever do an OnlyFans page, I would be mortified. And you probably would have to bury me, because that's probably what happened. Like, I have no qualm, but that's just how I would feel. And my sons, I don't know what them clowns would be doing on there. So, right. What are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But
somebody want to pay to see that?
Right.
Jay Lavish got a OnlyFans page. Huh? You know that.
Right. But he would. But nah. So yeah, I think that just it's like Lawrence Fishburne, Montana Fishburne, right? It's like, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing, man? You look crazy. You got him looking crazy. All for what? Are you really making any bread?
Say she was. Would you be okay? Say you had a daughter, 19, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She's not really busting it open, but she giving it up enough where she catching a hefty check from OnlyFans.
I'm upset and I'm disappointed and I'm hurt. We got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I think I think it's like that with anything with my child. But like I said, depending on the number, how much influence are you going to have over your child? Most of our children are terrified to disappoint us, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Right.
That's
true.
It's terrified to disappoint us.
Mm-hmm.
However, will they think, knowing their dads, that from 2018 to 2020, probably made about $200,000 from this, from these feet pics?
Feet pics. Right.
See?
I'm going feet.
I'm saying there's levels to it, right?
Yeah,
like, yo, most niggas I know will let their girl post feet pics.
They can get a cut.
If the bag is big enough, you like, damn, we gonna see
Go
your
ahead,
feet.
baby. Twinkle those toes. Twinkle those toes, baby.
For you.
Right.
You know?
Twinkle those toes. Real shit.
Yeah, but like
anything other than that, man.
At some point, it's like,
nah.
I don't want to have, I don't want to pimp, and that's how it feels sometimes. Like you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like that with almost any industry where your child or your girl may be the breadwinner. If it's not corporate, if you're living off your kid playing sports, it may feel funny. If you're living off your kid singing or your girl singing, it may feel funny. Or if your girl's a stripper or something, may feel funny. Like where does it get to the point where you feel as a man kind of funny about what your significant other, what your kid is doing? Like because they're bringing in money, does the way they bring in that money bother you?
Absolutely.
And does the amount of money change how much it bothers you?
Man, all money ain't good money.
That's
and
true.
Agreed.
My kids, like you extension of me. You got my name. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on some building legacy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And feet pics not really in that equation. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. You know, and it's gonna morph into something else, I'm sure. You know, it's a slippery slope because I know people talk. Again, we talked about women empowerment and ownership of their bodies, and when you see the videos like City Girls and Cardi B, that's women being boss bitches. It's not.
Why not?
It's not.
Why not?
What's boss about it?
The fact that you can do what you want and you don't care what other people think because it's their opinion.
It's funny.
And not only that, but you have a large segment of people who actually enjoy what you just put out from both genders, from both genders, men and women.
They don't enjoy it for empowerment. They enjoy what they see visually. That's it.
According to you as a man, but as a woman, you may think differently.
Their careers.
Yeah, exactly. As a woman, you may think differently.
I disagree.
But you're not a woman.
I was raised by women. I can speak for them. No, I'm joking.
No.
I don't want to get canceled just yet.
No.
But
nobody wants their daughter to do that, right?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants their daughter to do that.
Right.
But can you, as a business person, and let's keep it 1,000. Meg and Cardi may not be hoes. They might be real frugal with how they sling that, but they know that talking about that might give them the money that and the notoriety and stuff that they want. Is there a problem with them doing that? And if there is the problem with them, or is the problem with with the people that are receiving the music and the message, and they're putting something extra on that.
I think that one, I've never met Meg. I've met Cardi a couple times. Amazing girl, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of this shit is acting.
Yeah,
it's a character. It's entertainment.
I believe that.
But you can't get typecast by if you keep doing the same shit over and over again. You know what I mean? And as an artist, I would love to see growth. Period. You know what I mean? We all do, and no matter what we do, mm-hmm. right? We always want to grow and kind of evolve into something bigger, better, somewhat different. Mm-hmm. So if all you're talking about is pussy popping from album 1 to album 8, then it's like, okay, either you're a one-trick pony or you're really acting. Is this all you got to give? And when people look at you in a certain light, and that's what it is.
You're not a true artist. You're probably talented at something, but you're not a true artist. There's a difference.
Would you call?
Men do it all the time, though.
Would you call MOP not true artist?
Pusha T been rhyming about coke forever.
Exactly.
We're not gonna get into Pusha T because the white.
No. But that falls in line with what we're saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We want Pusha T to talk about coke. Mm-hmm.
You want Pusha T to talk about coke. I want to hear something else.
No. All of his fans want him to talk about coke. That's what we looked for him to do.
That's low-hanging fruit, dog. We can talk about a lot of other things.
No, it's not low-hanging fruit. There's different ways to talk about that particular thing. Okay? We don't want a 444 from Pusha T. We don't want a 444 from MOP. We don't want a 444 from Busta. What we want from you is what you give us, because you do that better than anybody. That's my personal opinion. I don't want Pusha T to talk about him being married and him having a baby now. No, I want you to tell me 5 other ways that I could describe selling cocaine without saying the words selling cocaine.
Listen, I want that too, but I don't mind if he talks about his family and getting married and all that shit. If listen, your subject matter doesn't matter to me. If you nice, you nice.
You can talk about, it does matter sometimes.
No. You could be talking
about. Nas album.
Hold up. You talking about guns? Yeah. You talking about guns, girls, drugs. If it's whack, I don't want to hear it. You could talk about uplifting our community, doing right by our women. If it's whack, I don't want to hear it.
True story.
If you nice, you nice. Like so, it don't matter what he talk. He gonna be nice no matter what he talk about.
So
that's how I feel about it.
And to answer your question, MOP. They aren't artists. They are gunslingers with access to a studio. I'm fine with Pusha T talking about something else every day.
What are you know what I'm saying?
Busta is an amazing artist who's grown and evolved, and he's has classic records, and he's Busta. You know what I mean? So, yeah, again, like, I just feel like the best artist, the greatest artist, like if you, whatever album you pick, whether say it's Nas, right? Mm-hmm. Illmatic and
It Was Written,
God's Son, whatever. You could put, if you put one of those songs on one of those other albums, they don't fit because creatively they're in a different space. Right. You know what I mean? And that's what I love too as well when it comes to like great artistry. You know what I mean? So my problem with Pusha T is, from whatever any of his albums. 1, is he better than his brother? We don't know. 2,
no, he's not.
You know what I'm saying? 2, if you put this song on an album, 3 albums prior, it fits right in. It's like, well, why am I listening to the same shit?
You can say the same thing about almost every artist that's popular right now. You can actually say the same thing.
That's why I don't like majority of them.
I'm about to say you can say the same thing about the most popular artist right now. If you look at Drake's last single, his most popular.
You know what? But
you move that back.
No, you can't say that.
No, listen. You didn't even hear what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry, my bad.
You could his most popular single from his last album. You could throw that on Views from the 6, and it'll move seamlessly. There isn't any Drake, as great as he is.
His latest shit. Yes.
There's no growth there. So he gives you the exact same thing because he knows that it works.
Thank Me Later, classic, right? Hip hop classic. We can agree there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I'm
saying? Out of his album,
right? Yeah. After Thank Me Later, The More Life, and then after that, it was more of it felt more of the same. I will say that after the first 3 albums, very different sonically, everything. Okay. Now
that's why I don't rock with your man RB no more.
I think it
after
feels
the
more
first
the same.
3 albums,
a lot of
everything
sounds
sounded the
and
same.
he does a lot of stuff. He has a lot of different
sounds. After the first 3
sounds.
albums, everything sounded the same. After the first 3 albums, everything sounded the same.
But also, after the first 3 albums, we got older. We aged out of his demo. He's not speaking to us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're never really in his demo, but the early shit, especially Thank Me Later, like, you know, Bun B on it, like, that's our shit. That's like, he's spitting. And the kids love him. Jawan, you know what I'm saying? J Labs loves him.
I don't look at Drake as the same way I look at as the Migos. Okay? I don't look at them as that. You know why? Because Drake is actually a lyricist. The Migos and the drill rappers, the Chief Keefs of the world, they not lyricists. Drake is actually a lyricist. So I do not. Let me finish. Okay. I don't give him that pass. I think that as a lyricist, one of the best lyricists of our time, he shouldn't rely on the lazy shit. The reason why I stopped liking him is after his first 3 albums, he started relying on the lazy shit. I know this will work. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a posse cut. I'm going to do a couple songs from the girls. I'm going to sing on 2 songs and I'm going to sell it. Same thing with LL. LL got comfortable. I'm going to do 1 hard song so everybody can know I still got it. Everything else will be for the chicks or to be pop or to be filler. I know that Drake can do better.
Better than what?
Better than what he's been doing as far as his lyrical content.
But if you look at the albums, not talking about singles, what's released, there's lyrical content.
It is.
We've had this
He's releasing what's going to sell the albums.
We've had this conversation before.
And
I've agreed with you when it comes to that. At the same token, I've also said, because there are 1 million plus people who feel the same way that I do, who feel the same way that you do, who feel the same way that you do, Jean-Pierre. Mm-hmm. You want to hear the same things that I do from this guy. I know y'all do, because you expect a higher level of artistry from somebody that great. We can't allow him to keep on getting away with mailing in shit that he's doing. He's so good, right? That we don't even recognize that he's mailing it in. We don't even realize it.
I mean, well, one, it sounds like we both agree that Drake and LL Cool J are overrated legends, right? That's the first thing. No. We both agree there.
No.
And you basically said it. I
didn't basically say that at all.
Well,
but continue.
Right. They both overrated legends. You're right. Drake is lyrically, he could be a beast. Like especially like when he's like on like a record with Rick Ross, like Aston Martin Music, Money in the Grave, whatever. I'm like, yo, this dude, this is it. But again, once he goes back to the other shit, and some of it is some sing-song shit because he is
vegetable lasagna.
He's a singer, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, John, remember that article that talked about how Drake made it popular and okay to do R&B records as a hip-hop artist, and motherfuckers lost their mind?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right, and rightfully so, because, you know, I mean, come on, he took Ja Rule's whole shit, right? And there were people more before Ja Rule that were doing it. Now, I don't know if you saw that article, right? If you didn't, I'm gonna forward it to you.
No, I saw it. Yeah. I don't want to lose my shit because we got to wrap up soon. So I'm gonna let you cook.
But I say this to say, again, he's not our guy. He's not for us. You know, and that's just that. I've learned to live with it. Yeah. There's some shit I'll check and I'm like, yo, this is dope. Listen, the project he had with Future was dope. Listen, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that, but that's not anyway. But
okay,
listen,
I know we got to wrap, so I'm not gonna. But I have to say, Leak.
Yeah,
that was not dope, son. That shit was.
I like that more than the sing-songy shit he's been doing for the last couple albums. I'll say that.
You listen to the whole album?
Immediately.
Huh?
Immediately.
Either one of y'all.
It was not that. It was not that. It was not that. What name one outstanding
No, let's not. Let's not name anything. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I'll tell you again. Go play anything with AM or PM behind it from him, and then come back to me.
Right. Listen, we know he can spit. He's a talented dude, and I don't care that. Like, I know he can spit, and that's good enough. If he makes continues to make the sing song, that's fine too. Like, because I know he's talented. I know he can give me what I need when I need it. But there's plenty of other people I can get what I need from. So I don't care if he don't.
Jay put out "Show Me What You Got" as a lead single.
Did Drake surpass Wayne?
In what?
Yes.
In impact? Yes.
As a rapper.
As a rapper?
Lil Wayne?
I don't know.
Lil Wayne? Lyrically? All these people are Lil Wayne's sons.
As a rapper or as impact?
I mean, I'd say I think impact is. I'd say impact. We already know. Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes.
So as a rapper,
yes.
Impact, absolutely.
Yes.
Son, all these people is Lil Wayne's sons, B.
Understood.
And he surpassed it. And Drake has surpassed him.
Understood that.
So okay, so here's why he has surpassed him. All these niggas is Lil Wayne's sons, right? Like Lil Uzi, Lil Perk, Lil Xan. You cannot get another Drake. It seems like anybody could just try to be Lil Wayne. It's very hard to try to be Drake.
Who's another Lil Wayne?
You just said all these niggas is his sons. All those little niggas, Lil Xan, Lil Perk, like you know what I'm saying.
But they still
Uzi Vert,
But they still haven't been able to match what Lil Wayne has given the culture.
I don't know what he gave the culture. Did Wayne give the culture or was it Gilly?
Okay.
That's another.
Yeah, here we go.
Another podcast.
Okay, so what's y'all? Okay,
who's the next superstar after Drake? Who's the next superstar?
I'm ready to go after the unpopular opinion. I just want to put some clarification on this. So y'all saying that Drake has been more impactful and has been more impactful than Lil Wayne?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Unpopular opinion.
Okay.
It sounds like you had the unpopular opinion with that one, Dwight. But listen.
It's my last podcast, by the way.
Malik, you want to fill in?
Let's go out with a bang.
Let's do it.
All right. So this week's unpopular opinion is my unpopular opinion, and I don't have facts. I don't have no stat sheets. It's just how I feel. Everybody, we all grew up in a time where we remember the Cosby Show coming on, and it was a big deal. The absolute most important show of our generation. I think that currently the show Blackish is better than the Cosby Show.
You can't say that and not and then preface that by saying I don't have facts or something. You have to give. I don't have something.
I'll give you something, but it ain't facts. It's how I feel.
What makes it better?
It can be a fact.
I feel they take on way more topics that are relative to what's going on. I think.
And the Cosby Show?
I think it's fun. Huh? Yes. Listen. I'm saying it's a better show. I'm not saying this. I think Cosby Show is more important for what it did for us.
What's the difference between what you're saying then? You saying that overall Blackish is?
It's funnier to me. It's funnier to me. It's a funnier show to me.
It's a better show.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an all-around better show to me.
Wow.
To me. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Because without Cosby Show, there's definitely no Blackish, right? And it's kind of modeled after the Cosby Show because Junior is the dumb son the same way, Theo was, Rudy was the sassy, the feisty little girl the same way, their daughter is. Bo is, Trace Ellis Ross is a successful doctor. Claire was a lawyer. Right? Claire was a lawyer. And Cliff was a doctor.
Right.
You know what I mean? They just made Andre. They just made Anthony Anderson. They made him a bit more cool and more hip because Cliff was always an older dude. You know what I'm saying? He was fly too though with the Coogee shit. None of us really see Coogee until he rocked it, and then Big put it on. So, and it's funny because me and Teef always talk about Anthony Anderson's wardrobe on that show, which is an extension of Kenya Barris. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you
get it.
Yeah.
So,
Kenya's dope too.
Kenya's dope too.
Yeah,
but now I can't. You know, it's funny because I don't actively watch Blackish, right? I'll catch it if I'm on a plane or like whatever, and it's amazing. Like it really is a funny show.
Yes,
it really is a funny show. It's well made. I think it's important, but you know why I say it's not better? Because I don't think there's no real connection to the culture the way the Cosby's was. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the fuck watch Black like Cosby Show. The Cosby Show. At that time,
was must-see TV on Thursday.
Heathcliff was America's dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anthony Anderson is a funny nigga that went to Howard.
I think that's a victim of the times though, with too much TV and.
But cream always rises, bro. You know what I'm saying? If it's that shit, it's gonna be that shit. And don't get me wrong, it's a good show and it's been around for a minute and it's had 3 to 4 spinoffs now. You know what I'm saying? Think about what the Cosby Show spinoff did to us. That's why most of us went to school. It was because it's a different world. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think that. I think that yes.
A Different World and School Days by Spike Lee.
That's right. School Days. But I don't think Blackish is as important to the culture and our culture the way the Cosby Show was to our culture. It's not there.
Important.
I think Chappelle's show is more important to our culture than Blackish is.
I didn't say important. I didn't say more important. I said better.
Better.
Okay.
No.
I'm sorry. I think Cosby Show is funnier. Bill Cosby is a funnier comedian. Yeah. He was an amazing stand-up. He was in classic films. You know what I'm saying? And what he did was groundbreaking, and it's just all around better from the beginning to end. And it took place in Brooklyn.
I definitely think that Blackish. I think that Blackish and the spinoff with Yara when she at college.
Ownish.
I think that is the Cosby Show and A Different World 2.0.
Oh, he bit, yo. What did
Yeah.
What did Ghostface call him? Shark niggas?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I think it's just updated. I think it's just updated for.
You bit his whole style.
I think it's just updated for the times now. But I think that model is what Bill Cosby put out 30 years before Kenya Barris came up. And I think that he said, yo, I'm going to do the Cosby Show first, and then I'm going to do these spinoffs with, or the spinoff with Grownish.
There's Grownish, there's Mixedish, and now there's Oldish with the parents. There's 3 spinoffs of this show now, which is fine. Can you get your check, bro?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't get the check. I think he went hard with the extra 2. I think after Grownish, he might have been.
I don't, you know, but the way television worked, he might not even had a say with the extra 2.
Right.
They was gonna do it regardless. So either you gonna roll with this.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's what it is.
Oldest being funny though.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, the parents are.
Yeah, with Jennifer Lewis and
the mother's probably the funniest person on that show.
Easily.
She's the funniest person on that show.
One thing I do like about Blackish is it's nowadays it's hard to see positive images of our people on TV. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was the same issue we had with the Cosby Show, if you remember. You know, remember the Cosby Show was such a change that it was black people saying, "Yo, this ain't realistic.
That's not reality."
Yeah,
right.
A doctor and a lawyer being together.
Right.
That's where we were in the mid '80s. The fact that a doctor and a lawyer being together was unrealistic to us.
With kids, nobody's on drugs, nobody's pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this ain't real. Yeah, why not?
So nowadays,
go to school.
Right, voluntarily.
Yeah, seeing Blackish, seeing Grownish, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen Mixedish yet. I think that's out. And
it's been out. It's been out a minute.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Oldish, you know, when that does come out. I don't know if it dropped yet. But being able to see those now and seeing the Cosby Show in A Different World basically updated is cool. Like I watch all those shows with my kids. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be able to have options to watch that kind of stuff on TV, and we not having to explain afterwards. Well, you know, Caesar is wild. You know, you can't worry about Caesar. You can't worry about Ryan. You can't worry about Peter Guns. You can't worry about, like, you know, we should be able to watch TV where people that look like us and we don't feel embarrassed or feel we got to give whoever watching it around us some type of explanation to let them know that we're not like that.
Nothing like that. They're not even like that. That's
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I do like Blackish. The Cosby Show for me is the #1 black sitcom of all time. You know what I'm saying? Because of what it did, what it did for our culture and what it showed for us. And like I said, a Different World was. I like The Different World better than I like The Cosby Show. Like I love that show.
Me too. I was about to say.
Yeah, we grew up with that, so it made perfect sense as we went with Denise to college. We felt like we were going too. So now that was our place.
Exactly.
And missed a
you
beat
know what I
when
mean?
she left.
They didn't miss a beat when she left. Yeah. She was only that was only one season, right? She was
one
only
season.
One, because then she went back to the Cosby Show.
Who's that?
Lisa Bonet.
Lisa Bonet.
She went back to. She left. Remember, they had the white girl there. Marissa Tomei was there.
Yeah, that was the first season with her.
And Debbie Allen came.
Yep.
Came on as the executive producer and producer and director.
Yeah.
Changed all that. Then it went to a liberal school to all black school.
Yeah, but also remember Lisa Bonet. She wanted to do movies. She wanted to be out there a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that shit didn't work out.
At the time.
That didn't work out, and then she went back to the Cosby Show and married the Navy nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, Joseph.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he had no hairline. Yeah, he had no hairline. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Wasn't he in like Mo Money or what was one of those?
No, he was in Strictly Business.
Strictly Business.
Strictly Business.
Yeah.
Yo, remember Young Holly in Strictly Business though?
I might watch that tonight.
Yes,
Chef's Kiss.
Yes. Excellent.
All right, well, that was my unpopular opinion. Clearly, it was unpopular, but
extremely.
I stand by it.
Extremely. Drug test this man.
Anyway, we want to thank y'all for tuning in to episode 6 of You Heard What I Said. We want to thank our special guest, Malik Buie, man, our brother. Thank you for joining us, bro. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, family. Thank you, family. Love you all.
Love y'all. We want y'all to continue to subscribe, like, share with your friends. Like I said before, it takes a village, man. We need to continue to grow this thing, man. We appreciate y'all and see y'all next time. Peace.